Hey guys, what's up? How are you? I hope that you guys are having an amazing day today. My name is Jarrell, just in case you're new, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing the Dior foundation, and this is the Forever Dior in matte, and I do have my shade in 3W, and we are also going to be unboxing and trying in this little box from Dior. I decided to get a couple of things from the spring and summer collection, so let's go ahead and open it up because I am super excited. So I got 3 palettes. One is already in the permanent line. I don't know which one this one is. So here we have the A39 Popeline, and this is made in France and it has a shelf life of 6 months. This is the pinky tone from the new spring and summer collection. This one is the 719 Organza. Again, shelf life is 6 months and it is made in France. I decided to get this one right here, and this one is from the permanent line, and it is the shade in Pink Coral. This is also made in France with a shelf life of 6 months. They also added the Dior Maximizer 3D mascara. They also included this cologne right here, which is Savage from Dior. I'm pretty sure that is like for, oh, it smells so good. Okay, I'm going to ask my husband to wear it. He does not wear any cologne whatsoever. Like, I purchased him one recently and I think he wore it like once, and that was like 4 months ago. So yeah, he is not really into colognes, but I'm gonna ask him to try that one. Otherwise, if he doesn't want it, I am going to be gifting it to one of my nephews. They also added this Rouge Dior 999 lipstick, and I guess it's a velvet formula. Oh yeah, super nice and red. I don't see me wearing this type of colors anytime soon, but we'll save it for another day. Super cute, and usually like baby lipsticks right here, I end up putting it over there just because I don't wear them much when they're so tiny. I just feel like they're going to break. So yeah, so that is it for the Dior haul. You can also check down in the description area for timestamps whether you are interested in the swatches for the eyeshadow, the application for the eyeshadows, or the application for the foundation, as well as my final thoughts. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I am going to start with the foundation. Again, this is the 3W and it is the matte version. This has a shelf life of 12 months and it is made in France. So here is how the foundation looks like. It's actually a little runny. I'm starting with a brush on this side of my face. And just like the glowy foundation, it dries down a little bit. It starts setting really quickly. So I am going to make sure that I work it as fast as I can. I just don't want it to dry in any specific areas. So I prep my skin using my Laura Mercier Perfect Cream Multitasking Moisturizer. I also added the Laura Mercier Illuminating Eye Cream. So that is how I prep my skin today. We are skipping on the primer. I just want to see how this does with just my skincare. And this is how it looks just with the brush. So here's half of the skin done, and once again, this foundation sets super fast, just like the glow version. Definitely sets really fast. I just feel like it doesn't give me enough time to like blend it into the skin and to move the product around and cover every single area of my face, so you do have to move quite quickly. However, even though it's doing that, I still don't feel like I have anything on my skin. It's super lightweight. Like, it doesn't feel like it's tightening up on my skin. It's not feeling like over drying, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and now use our sponge. And yeah, definitely a little bit too dark for me, and it's oxidizing just a little bit on my hand. So for this foundation, upon application, I definitely prefer the sponge. I think that I blended a little bit easier. It was easier to move the foundation around, and I like how it's giving me like a natural finish of the foundation. It actually gives me a little nice glow right here. And with the brush, it was just a little bit harder to move the product around, and also the finish is not as glowy as this one. It's more of a matte foundation on this side versus a natural finish. So yeah, so far the sponge for this foundation is working out for me. So I went ahead and brought you in a little closer so you guys can see the skin. So using the sponge, I am going to add a little bit of this foundation on the areas that I need a little bit more coverage, which is here where I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation, as well as in this side right here. So I was able to build it up just a little bit. It did give me a little bit more coverage, but I can still see the dark spots that I have on my cheeks as well as on around my mouth. So it's definitely not a full coverage foundation. I will definitely give it a medium coverage foundation. So this is how the foundation, if I say foundation one more time. So this is how the skin looks like now. Alright guys, so it is about 1:30 in the afternoon and I do have a long day ahead of me. Once I finish doing everything that I have to do and putting my baby to sleep, I will check back with you guys for sure. Just in case I didn't mention it, I do have an oily T-zone and the outer part of my face is pretty normal. My only concerns when it comes to my skin is the hyperpigmentation that I have on my cheeks that I like for it to be as covered, not fully, but as covered as much as I can, and also the discoloration that I have around my mouth. But that is all the complaints. I don't really have breakouts or any scarring or anything like that. The scarring that I had here in a couple of videos ago, it's already gone, so that is it. So now let's go ahead and do the swatches for the eyeshadow. So here we have the swatches for A39 Popeline, and here we have the 719 Organza swatches. So here we have the swatches for the A59 Pink Coral. Right, so I fixed my lighting just a little bit so you guys can see true to color, and I think that it's doing a pretty good job right now. I went ahead and just added my P. Louise base. I'm going to start with the Dior 719 Organza, and I'm going to take this a darker shade right here. So I am going to add this shade to the outer corner just to give us a little bit of dimension. I'm going to add this shade to it. I'm blending it on the crease. Oh yeah, that is definitely pigmented, so just using both of those shades together, and they are blending really nice and beautiful. I don't want to do it so rounded, so I'm going to stand it out just a little bit with that peachy shade. All right, now using the Refer 26 brush, I am going to take this lighter shade right here. I'm going to bring it in a little bit in the inner corner right here. And this definitely has a little bit more rosiness to it. It's not as dark as this one. So just bringing it in the inner corner. So all of these shades so far, they do have a sheen to it. They are not matte. I'm going to take this gold shade right here and just bring it all over the lid. Now taking this brown shade again, with a pencil brush, I'm just going to run it on our lower lash. Right now, taking this shade right here, just going to add it to the inner corner and just running it on the lower lash in the inner corner. On this side right here, just adding a little bit of liner here in the outer corner and creating a baby wing. I'm taking the Refer 29 brush to shape it up and to diffuse it a little bit. So now that I curl my lashes, I'm going to add some mascara. I will link all the products down below in the description area just in case you are interested. All right guys, so here is look number one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next look, and we're going to use this one right here, which is the Popeline A39, and we're going to start with the darkest shade again. So I'm just going to tap the product in the outer corner and start shaping it up, just staying in the outer corner. All right, so adding this pink shade right here to the edges and adding it to the crease a little bit. Now using the Refer 14 brush in this shade right here, I'm going to use this one in the inner part of our crease. So this one is a satin finish, a little bit more muted than the other shade that we were using, which is a little bit more pinky and more, it has a little bit more sheen to it. All right, so now using the middle shade right here, we're just going to add it all over the lid with the Refer 14 brush. And this one is more lilac-y, so this is definitely going to be our base for the next shade that we're going to put, which is a more shimmery shade, super nice and beautiful. And I'm hoping that it translates to that on the eye. All right, now using my finger, I'm going to add this shade all over the lid. I'm just going to tap it. All right, now taking the darker shade again, just adding it to the outer corner for a little bit more depth, and now adding it to the lower lash. Adding this rosy shade to the rest of the lower lash. Great, so I'm going to do my brown wing on this side as well. And here is look number 2. All right, so it's 8:30 at night and I am really happy because I'm finally free for the rest of the night. Well, until like 1 o'clock when my baby gets up again. But I'm really excited to let you guys know what I think about the foundation. So I was able to look at it a little bit closer and I gotta say that it looks really nice and beautiful. Yes, I do have oils coming through, especially here in the center of my face, which is on my nose, but it's not separating, it's not clinging together, it's not doing any weird stuff around my mouth either. I do see a little bit of the redness right here on my nose that is peeking through. If I just add a little bit of powder over here in this area, I'm pretty sure that it's like an easy fix. So let's go ahead and do that just to make sure that we can fix it. So this is how the skin looks after adding a little bit of powder in the center of my face. So my final thoughts on this foundation, I think that it is really nice and beautiful. I mean, the skin looks super nice. Blush, bronzer still there. Everything looks really intact, especially after applying a little bit of powder in the center of my face. But it just looks super nice and healthy, beautiful. It doesn't feel like anything on the skin. It's really lightweight, which I really like that. The only thing that I didn't really like is the way that the brush applied the foundation. You have to move super quick. The sponge is definitely the way to go for the application of this foundation. I just think that it just applied so much better, and I love the finish that it gave me. It's a really nice natural finish comparing it to the brush that it was more on the matte side. Now I also wanted to mention to you guys that I really appreciate that I did not have to set the outer part of my face, like it just set itself. And when I went ahead and applied my bronzer, it did not skip, it did not like patch up or anything like that. It actually did a really nice job covering my imperfections, which are the sunspots that I have on my cheeks. And once again, the bronzer just went on super nicely. So overall, I really did enjoy this foundation very much. I think once again, just the skin looks so nice and healthy, and I just like it. Let's go ahead and talk about these squints right here. Out of the two, I would have to say, like, color wise and the way that it just applied, I think I like this one a little bit better. This one is really nice as well. It gives you a little bit more definition. It's just that the color story, I don't know, it's just not my favorite, especially because it has this gold that I'm not really vibing with, which is the color that I have all over my lid. I just think that I have so many golds like this in my collection that I would have liked to see something different. This one right here, I think it is super beautiful for like the perfect spring, summer, like soft look, and I think that it's just really nice and gorgeous. They both apply really beautiful to the eyes and they blend it to each other really nicely as well. The only thing that I would say about this one is that once all the pinks are together, it's really hard to tell which one is which one. They do really look alike on the eye, but this one is my favorite out of the two. Do I think that they're worth the price? I don't think so. I think that you can find really similar looks to these right here in your collection already, or maybe in Anastasia Beverly Hills. And if you have the Natasha Denona Love palette, I'm pretty sure that you can recreate something similar to this one. Really, this is not these eyeshadows are definitely not like super unique. The color story is not unique, so you can definitely dupe them with whatever you already have in your collection. I am really happy that I have them, especially this one. I can see myself reaching for a lot during the springtime for like a really nice wash of color. It was really easy to create and really beautiful to blend because it took me like no time. It was really nice to work with both of them, really. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope that it was helpful to you, especially if you had your eye on the foundation and you needed a little wear test, and of course if you had your eyes on this Quints right here from Dior, from the new spring line. They are limited edition from what I know, so just in case you are interested, I will link everything down below. But that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next time.